Good evening, and welcome to the West Milton Council Meeting for December 8th, 2015. Will everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and then stay standing for the invocation from Pastor Steve Peters from Grace Haven. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. God, I thank you so much for this wonderful privilege. It's just an awesome thing to be able to pray for these men and women that really you've picked, and you've picked so that they might make decisions on our behalf and in our community. For those of us who've lived here a while, we understand that they can make the good decisions, but they can also make the tough ones, and so they need to have our support and our prayer. And so, God, we just ask you might be with them, give them wisdom. Lord, allow this time that they spend in serving others to be a precious time, a time that they can look back at as just a time that's treasured, being able to work in behalf of a wonderful community like West Milton. So, God, we give this time to you. We give this meeting to you. We ask for your anointing, your blessing, and we'll certainly give you the praise, God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Now call this meeting to order. Can we get roll call, please?
Mayor Francis.
Here.
Kopp. Here. Fogel.
Here.
Tinnerman.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Dorman.
Here.
And Grudich.
Here.
So, do not believe we had any council members we needed to excuse.
Yeah, from workshop.
Workshop? Oh, yeah, there was a bunch from workshop.
3 of them.
Slackers from workshop.
Well, let's just go with
Well, there
who's
were so many people not here, then we might as well not have it. All right, so we have,
I'll make a motion to excuse from the workshop, November 24th, Sarah Kopp and Don Dorman and Karen Grudich. No, Don was here.
I was
Anthony
there.
Miller.
Anthony.
Sorry. Sarah, Anthony, and Karen.
awesome,
I'll second that.
awesome. Council, a motion has been made duly seconded to excuse Councilwoman Sarah Kopp, Karen Grudich, and Councilmember Anthony Miller from the November 24th meeting. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Kopp.
Abstain.
Fogel.
Yes.
Tinnerman.
Yes.
Miller.
Abstain.
Dorman.
Yes.
Grudich.
Abstain.
And Mayor Francis.
Yes. Okay, the council members have been excused. Everyone should have had in their packets over the last month the minutes for the November 10th council meeting and the November 24th council workshop. This time, is there any discussion or motions?
I'll make a motion to approve both sets of minutes for November 10th and November 24th.
Second.
Outstanding, council. There's a motion made duly seconded to approve both workshop and the meeting minutes for November 10th and 24th. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Kopp. Yes. Fogel.
Yes.
Tinnerman.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Dorman.
Yes.
Grudich.
Yes.
And Mayor Francis.
Yes. Outstanding. The minutes have approved. This time, Manager Klein, is there any correspondence to council?
No, sir. There's none.
Awesome. Are there any comments from citizens regarding tonight's legislation? Nothing. All right. Got crickets in the outfield. All right. So then we will move on to ordinances and resolutions. The first one is ordinance CM-15-36 regarding vacation policy.
It's an ordinance amending section 3230, vacations and absences of the West Milton personnel rules.
So, as it is a second reading, title will only be read. Is there any motions at this time?
I'll make a motion to approve CM 15-36.
Second that.
Council, motion has been made, duly seconded to approve ordinance CM-15-36, the vacation policy. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Kopp.
Yes.
Fogel.
Yes.
Tinnerman.
Yes.
I'm sorry, did I miss Fogel? Sorry.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Dorman.
Yes.
Grudich.
Yes.
And Mayor Francis.
Yes. Awesome. Moving on to ordinance CM-15-37, which is the garbage refuse. Hey, I did it right, thanks. Ordinance. And again, this is also a second reading for tonight. Ms. Brosh.
It's It's an ordinance establishing a refuse fund and amending sections 5327 and 5332 regarding garbage, refuse, and recyclable of the Code of Ordinances for the municipality of West Milton, Ohio.
So,
Make a motion, we accept ordinance CM-15-37.
I'll second.
awesome. Council, a motion has been made, duly seconded, to pass ordinance CM-15-37, the garbage and refuse. There any further discussion? Manager Klein.
Mayor, since our letter went out in the December bills, I have received one phone call from an elderly lady who asked me to waive her requirements for participating in the garbage hauling. Explained to her I did not have that power or authority to do so. And she asked me, she explained to me that she's unable to attend council meetings, however, she does watch us at home. And I promised her that I would bring this topic up at the appropriate time. I assume, since this is the second reading of this ordinance, it is an appropriate time to do so. I have done a little bit of research what the other communities in Miami County do, which unfortunately is, there is no waiving. We're actually falling in line with what other communities are doing. The city of Troy, it's billed every month. The city of Piqua, the same. The city of Tip, also the same. However, Tip does have what they call a snowbird policy. Those who go to Florida for the winter, or they're gone, if they're gone for more than 3 months, 3 months or more, then those months that they are gone, it is deactivated on their water or utility bill. But that's the only thing that I can find that the other communities do.
Okay. Thank you, Manager Klein. Anyone like to comment on that or anything before I do?
I will. I've thought quite a bit about, how we're going into this, and it will require each resident to have it. Our ordinance has required each residence to have trash, but there hasn't really been a way that that's been enforced, because that would have been up to Waste Management as much as it would us. I mean, they're the ones that would have had to track down people not using the service. I understand with someone who uses very little trash and has another way to dispose of it. And even if it's someone who produces a normal amount but wants to take care of it on their own, I haven't been able to figure out anything in my mind how to make exceptions to it on a case-by-case basis. I think the point of why we've looked at it and doing it this way is, one of the points of it is, by everyone having service, that it should help with some of the problems that we have. And it's not town-wide, but we do have different properties that have problems with putting trash in their backyard and not taking care of their trash problem. And this will basically solve that issue. I realize there's some other unintended consequences that bring other people in with it, but until we can find, if there is another answer as far as exceptions, I'm in favor of passing for tonight so that it's set up for the whole town. If there's other suggestions made, or if anyone has them tonight, great, but I couldn't think of anything on how to make individual decisions.
The only way I could think to make individual decisions would be to have some sort of application that somebody fills out, and it's a term we set, 6 months or a year or whatever, that they outline why do they want to apply for this application, and why do they want to not use the service. How are they going to take care of their trash? What is their policy in place? What are they doing, and how are they doing it? And then if at any time the manager's office finds out that they're violating that, it is automatically revoked. And then every year they have to do it. But I'm thinking that there's probably, like everything else we have for applications, there's going to be some sort of fee associated with it and so forth for processing and administering it. But that was the only thing I could think of on that. And that would be something that we would not be able to put in tonight's ordinance because that's a major change in policy. So, I mean, I'd be open to look at that if you guys think about it over the holidays and we revisit that discussion in January. But that's what I could see as one of the only alternatives that kind of makes sense to me. And on that same note, I wanted to clarify to everybody in the village that the village is taking over the billing aspect of the trash, mainly for cost savings for everybody in the village. Both Rumpke and Waste Management bid the specs as if we were going to be taking over the billing. Most communities now have the city's utility departments do the billing for the trash, and it's in there. And the main reason for that is to make sure that Rumpke and Waste Management or whoever's doing the trash wants to get paid. And the only thing they can do is stop service, where the village has other ables. There were some concerns that the village decided to take the trash as additional income. And I can assure you that is not the case, considering there is the 5% franchise fee that we get regardless if we're doing the billing or not. And then I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Manager Klein, we will get 50 cents per account.
It's 50 cents per account, which essentially pays for the postage for us to
right.
pay for, or to send out the utility bill.
So that is the only reason why it is. If we were to have left it on Waste Management's hands, the $20, $22, and $24 price proposals that we got would not have been here. We would have been looking at $10 more so a month for trash, and council decided that that was unacceptable. So that is why we put the burden on the manager's office and the finance and the utility department to do so. Again, I wanted to clarify that because I've heard that through town a few times in the last 2-3 weeks. So I wanted to make sure everybody's on the same page. If you have any questions on that, I highly recommend you call Manager Klein's office or the utility office and talk to them or the maintenance supervisor. Ben, he's looking right at me, smiling. And they'll be happy to assist you. I do know that there's probably going to be some hiccups over the next 30 to 90 days. Waste Management has been very reactive to go, and when we've identified a problem, they've taken care of that problem within 24 to 48 hours, so I've been very pleased with that. Over the last week or so, we've had a few, and they are determined to make sure that this transition of billing from Waste Management to us is clean, and any additional services you want, especially if you want the recycling container instead of those little totes, they'll be more than happy to take care of all of that. So.
Will you also clarify this? If you want to change your gallon size,
Right.
or if you want to use your own garbage cans, do you call the office or do you call Waste Management?
Because I just went through that 2 days ago to try and change mine, and that's what caused some of the problems that I've known. I'm going to direct that to Manager Klein because they had a phone call
We had a phone conference this morning.
about that.
Went over several items, one of those being how to change. You'll be free to change your service whether you want to go from high volume to low volume to doing your own cans, whatever, because just remember there's 3 rates. Low volume, which includes a 35-gallon can for $20. If you want to just supply your own cans, it's $22 a month, $20 a month, $22 a month. And then regular service, which includes the large 90-gallon tote, for $24 a month. If you wanted to change service and go from, I'm just going to make this as an example, if you wanted to go from a high-volume tote to a 35-gallon or a low-volume tote, all you'll need to do is call our office. We send an email to Waste Management. You have to give them a few days. They'll come with a 35-gallon tote, 5 days, at least a week, and they'll come with a 35-gallon tote and take your 90-gallon tote.
So because I'm going to be calling your office, should we call now or wait till January? What do you recommend?
I would recommend until you wait until January, because
Okay.
right now, all of the communication from the locals from local waste management needs to go to corporate waste management. So
Okay.
that's where some of the confusion has come in. it would be easier or better, probably more, it would be more smooth, that you call after the first of the year. Just call us, tell us, well, we'll know who you are, but, your account number and your address. You want to switch service from this to this.
Okay,
We'll email them, and then you'll see that reflected on your February bill.
okay. All right, thanks.
Yeah, I was tricky. I did it just to see what would happen. So now we know, and now we have a plan to make it work right. So I didn't want anyone else to get as frustrated or as confused as I did when I called them. So I'm glad that's taken care of. Is there any other discussion or questions regarding this ordinance?
Yes, one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
About the recycling portion then, will you also need to notify you if you want what
This-
gallon size is
this-
that?
It's a 64 gallon, it's a
Yeah,
small, it's a bigger
The rollaway.
recycling, but it's on wheels.
Yeah.
Comes with I'm told it comes with a yellow lid that signifies recycling. You can be able to call us
Okay, same thing.
or you can, right now, as if you read the letter says that if you want that tote, go ahead and call Waste Management. So we would encourage you on the recycling tote, call them directly.
I
It's-
did that. I called them directly the other day, and the girl was a little confused.
Yeah,
But she read through everything. She goes, "Oh, I've got it now. Okay.
okay,
Now I know." This first phone call I've gotten. Now I know what to do. So they've got it in
Okay.
their computer.
yeah.
They do, because I
Yeah, they're gonna
called,
do that.
I did the
Two.
same thing. I called, but then they said they couldn't do anything till January 1st. And then Matt worked that out, and I called back this week on Monday, and, or no, excuse me, I called last Friday, and my new tote was there today.
Good.
So,
So,
They're
yeah,
on it.
we would encourage everybody to get a 64-gallon recycling tote because it's on wheels, but it has a lid. So if on the windy days, papers, light objects won't blow out of that small bin. It encourages recycling. And, but we would also encourage you to call the 1-800 number that was on the letter. There's also going to be a postcard that's coming out to all residents in about a week. Basically has the exact same information that our letter had, except more in bullet points. It's going to include the 1-800 number. The postcard's going to encourage you to recycle with the larger container. So it'll have the contact information. So for recycling, call them. If you want to change your service, start after January 1st, call us.
Outstanding. Thank you. Is there any other discussion regarding this ordinance? Okay. Thank everybody for their questions and their input. This time, can we have roll call, please?
Huck,
Yes.
Vogel,
yes.
Tinnerman,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Dorman,
Yes.
Grudich,
Yes.
and Mayor Francis.
Yes, the ordinance has passed. Moving on to ordinance CM-15-39, it is the water rates. Ms. Brosh, will you please?
It's an ordinance to amend Chapter 52.116A, water rates of the West Milton Municipal Code.
Thank you. And again, this is a second reading, so it's title only, unless somebody would like her to read it all.
How about we read all of them?
She said it is Christmas, so that would be a really nice present not to have to.
I think maybe it's good to explain again what is being
Mhm.
increased as far as
Do
the
you have it?
6% rate increase.
Yeah. Per 595 effective. It's going to be basically what the operational charge for each billing period is $13.45. The operational charge covers just that, the operational aspect of the water treatment center, or the water, the personnel, the pumps, the water towers, and so forth. Then we have a 1,000-gallon usage charge. That is going up to $5.95 per 1,000 gallons. The reason for the rate increase is, once again, a rate increase from Troy. We are being told that there's this rate increase this year, and then we know for a fact there's going to be a rate increase in a year from now. So what we're hoping is, by making this change, fingers crossed that we do it to the point where hopefully we don't have to raise it the following year. Again, this is something we review all the time. We do realize that this is a very touchy subject. It is very near and dear to a lot of people's heart. It's probably one of the bigger issues we deal with, just because it's always changing. And I think I can speak for everybody on council, and we know it's frustrating on that, but we pass that on so that way we can sustain that fund. That's the responsible thing to do for our end, so. And then that just makes the minimum rate charged, if you use 1,000 gallons or less, a billing period will be $19.40. So, thank you, Councilman Fogel. Okay.
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I thought Councilmember Grudich brought up a great point in that because we bid out the garbage and we'll be doing the billing in-house, the rates have lowered, and they've lowered substantially to the point that if you do the math, they have lowered to the point where a normal user of water, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 gallons, is actually seeing a net effect
Right.
on their monthly costs, if that makes sense. The garbage has reduced to a point where the small increase in the water has been offset by the reduction in garbage, so.
And if memory serves me correctly, it's like a 45-cent approximate increase in the water rate, so.
I think it's exactly 6% because
Yeah.
that's what the increase is from Troy this year.
Yeah, nobody wanted your $5 or $6, so. All right. Hearing that, do we already have a motion?
I'll make a motion to
Outstanding.
approve ordinance CM-15-39.
Second.
City Council, there's a motion to pass ordinance CM-15-39 for the water rates. Is there any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call, please.
Cop,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Tinnerman,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Dorman,
Yes.
Grudich,
Yes.
and Mayor Francis.
Yes, ordinance CM-15-39 passes. Moving on to ordinance CM-15-41, it is the income tax ballot language. Turn that over to Ms. Brush.
It's an ordinance to renew the levy of the 1/2% income tax expiring December 31st, 2016, without reciprocity for the specific purpose of funding police and fire operations in the municipality of West Milton, Ohio for an additional 5-year period commencing January 1st, 2017, and expiring December 31st, 2021.
Is there any motions regarding this ordinance?
I would like to make a motion to accept CM-15-41.
Second that.
Council, there's a motion duly seconded to pass ordinance CM-15-41 for the income tax ballot language. Is there any discussion? I would just like to remind everybody that this will be on the primary ballot in March. It is for a renewal. It is the 0.5% that does fund the police and fire departments, so that 0.5% goes strictly to those two departments. It's not used for anything else. And again, it is just for the typical 5-year renewal. We've appreciated, the police department and the fire department has appreciated your continued support for the last 15 years on renewing this every 5 years. And we look forward to that continued support in March. If anyone has any questions regarding this ballot issue on March primaries, please let us know and we'll be happy to help. Saying that, can we get roll call, please?
Cop,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Tinnerman,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Dorman,
Yes.
Grudich,
Yes.
and Mayor Francis.
Yes, ordinance CM-15-41 passes. Moving on to the last ordinance for the night, ordinance CM-15-42. It is the 2016 budget.
It's an ordinance to appropriate funds necessary for the various departments and offices of the municipality of West Milton, Ohio for the year 2016.
Is there any motions at this time regarding ordinance CM-15-42? We need a motion to,
Do we open it first and then?
we open it first and then you go for the amendment.
I'll do the easy one. I'll make a motion to accept CM-15-42.
I'll second.
Council, there is a duly made motion and duly seconded to pass ordinance CM-15-42. Is there any discussion regarding this ordinance? Manager Klein, will you please?
No problem. Thank you. Just for our TV audience, you might see some apprehension because there's no apprehension for the budget. But since the previous first reading in November, I've been going over all of the numbers, and then I've gone over them extensively with council at our last workshop. you probably always know, at least for the 4 years that I've been here, there's things that happen that we didn't anticipate, and we're always coming back for what's called a reappropriation. So I asked the finance director to go over all of our previous reappropriations since I've been here, looking for consistency as to where those account line items that we missed. There is no consistency. It's always something different. So trying to anticipate some things, we started going over each and every line item in the budget, the full budget, not just the appropriations. With that, we felt certain line items. We know we're getting a new playground this year. We need to add some insurance. Let's put $500 into this line item. We know we're having some problems with the Dodges. Every police department is having problems with the Dodge Chargers. Let's increase our maintenance budget. And we went over every one of those line items. This year was sludge removal. It was very big. So let's add more to the sludge. So what we've done is we've asked council, spoke with the budget committee itself, went to council and went over every line item. We're making a strong recommendation for consideration to amend the budget for a grand total of $42,000. Now, that's less than 1/10 of 1% of the whole budget. Remember, it's $4.4 million budget. It's my hope that maybe I'll never have to come back to you in 2016. I wish I had a crystal ball, but if I had a crystal ball, we'd all be millionaires, but that's something different. But it would be nice that we don't have to come back for reappropriations. So what we did was we line itemed all those in the budget, but that means that the appropriations that you just read, Ordinance 42, there are certain line items or fund items lines that need to be amended. So I went over it with Lene, our law director. It can be done in all one motion, but it's a lengthy motion. So I'm not sure who's getting the short straw, but I have written it out for council and included it in your packets that explains what the new totals are, where they would be. So it's a lengthy motion, but that motion does need to be read and accepted if you want to add the extra $42,000 in total to the 2016 appropriations.
Outstanding. Thank you, Mr. Klein.
Good explanation.
Yeah, very, very well. So at this time, is there any further discussion regarding this ordinance? And would,
So we need to read it line by line?
no, you just need to read this motion here. So I think Ms. Kopp's got it written right in front of her, right?
No, I don't, actually.
There you go.
No.
Do you have anything to add there, Councilwoman Kopp?
No. Happy Hanukkah. Okay.
Happy Hanukkah?
Oh, up top?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I cannot read this. I'm going to mess up the numbers.
No, you're
You'll
fine.
be all right.
You will be fine.
No, do
We've
not
got
make
all the
me
faith
read
in the
this.
world.
This is
in
a
you.
lot of pressure. I am passing.
All right,
Okay.
go for it,
All
Scott.
right.
This makes my
Mayor,
heart beat fast.
I'd like to make a motion needed for CM 1542. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to amend CM 1542 in the following amounts and to the following fund line items. Okay?
Keep going.
Add $18,950 to the general fund, other expenditures making a new total of $586,750, and a new general fund total of $1,712,825. Furthermore, add $3,950 to the special revenue funds titled Street Construction Personnel Services, making a new total of $140,700, and a new total street construction and maintenance of $218,800. Add $5,500 to the water fund personal services, making a new total of $339,050, and add $800 to the water fund, other expenditures making a new total of $572,155, and a new total to the water fund of $923,810. Add $12,800 to the sewer fund, other expenditures making a new total of $235,375, and a new total to the sewer fund of $544,125, making a new total to the enterprise fund of $2,282,170. With the full motion adding a total of $42,000 to the entire appropriations, making a new total appropriations of all funds to $4,462,565.58.
Thank you, Mr. Fogel.
Thank you.
Got that sugar back.
Need some oxygen.
All right.
I will second his amendment.
Saying, council, there has been a motion duly seconded to amend CM-15-42 as Councilman Fogel just read, making it adding a total of $42,000 to the entire appropriations and making a new total appropriation of all funds to $4,462,565.58. Is there any discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, roll call, please.
Cop,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Tinnerman,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Dorman,
Yes.
Grudich,
Yes.
and Mayor Francis.
Yes. The amended to the CM-15-42 has passed.
You
We
passed.
need to write the amendment part, so you need to go back to the original person.
And a motion to adopt CM-15-42 as amended.
I'll second that.
Council, a motion has been made and duly seconded to approve the amended version of CM-15-42. Is there any discussion? Back to Manager Klein.
The one thing, thank you, Mayor. The one thing I forgot, here's the original that's been marked, but we also included a clean copy, which this will be attached to the back in case anyone ever questions, but the clean copy we'll ask you to sign for tonight.
Okay. Any other discussion on this? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Cop,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Tinnerman,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Dorman,
Yes.
Grudich,
Yes.
and Mayor Francis.
Yes. CM-15-42 is approved as amended. And once again, I would like to thank everyone on council and everyone involved dealing with the budget process for making this another consecutive year, which we've passed the budget in December instead of March or April. Now, if we can just get some other people on that same line, we'd be all good. All right. Going down the line to the municipal manager's report, Manager Klein.
Thank you, Mayor, council, and TV audiences and guests. I too would like to thank everyone and thank council for their understanding on the amendment. I appreciate that. Councilman Fogel, you did a wonderful job reading the motion.
Thank you.
And the vice mayor always seems to get the easy part of just seconding it.
Gotta be quick.
But thank you so much. I only have just a few items to discuss tonight. As you know, we always do the Pride Awards during the summer, but over the last few years, we've also included a Christmas Prides Award. It's always difficult to be able to get the Pride Award winners to a December meeting because not everybody has had their decorations up in time yet. Mr. Herron and I will be going around and getting the nominations. We already have, actually, a couple have already been called in to us. We will be getting those nominations to you by this Friday. We would ask that you take your kids, go around, enjoy the lights, and give us your votes by Monday, December 21st. Why we chose that gives you a couple weekends to take a look at the lights and Christmas decorations, but that also allows us time. We'll know who the winners are. We'll be able to go out and put the signs in their yards during the Christmas season, and then we'll do a public recognition for them at our January meeting. Speaking of the January meeting, this is mostly for the TV audience. Our charter requires after a municipal election, that the new council that is going to be seated in the next term must meet for organizational purposes on the first Tuesday of the month, not the second Tuesday of the month. Regular council meetings being on the second Tuesday of the month. So that means next month, our special or organizational meeting, which has always been inconclusive of a regular council meeting, will be the first Tuesday of the month, which is January 5th, again 7:30, and not January 12th. At that meeting, what you will see are this council, those that have been elected or re-elected, being sworn in. Because we do not have yet, but come January 5th, we will have an open seat in our vice mayor's chair because there was no one on the ballot. With that, council will need to select a chairperson who will automatically then will be sworn in as chairperson, but then because there's an empty seat, temporarily empty seat on the vice mayor's slot, that person will then be elevated to the vice mayor's seat. Council will then need to nominate another person to be the chair. That person will be sworn in as chair. When that happens, council will have what's considered an empty council seat. At that time, they'll be announcing this at the January 5th meeting, and then council, I assume, presumably, will be taking applications like they need to, and cannot seat anyone for 10 days after that. So that's what you have to look forward to at the January 5th meeting. It may seem a little bit confusing, but we have a sharp law director who keeps us on our toes, so we'll make sure we do everything correctly. Notice I'm giving you the credit on
I
that.
know, thanks.
Making sure we follow everything by the book.
You may notice, please, last year, for the first time, the police department did a caring tree, adopting young children in the community with, who have needs or may not have as warm and special Christmas as others. We have sign-ups out here at the front for the caring tree for this year. I believe the police department is working in conjunction with the fire department this year, is what I understand. So please come into City Hall and adopt a child. And I have very good and surprising news many of you may not know yet. All I can say is, from my understanding, and I don't pretend to understand it, is that his numbers have completely done a 180-degree turn. He's doing very well, and Tim Schwartzdraber was allowed to come home today. So he's here in West Milton, came home today. So a lot of prayers were answered. So if Tim's watching, hi, Tim. And finally, I'd just like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, and more importantly, with all the things that are happening around the world and in our country, please have a very safe and secure holiday season and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Manager Klein.
I'd just like to, if maybe you or Tim could explain to the public too, how well run everything was and how great of a turnout and what was generated from the benefit for Tim and his family, because I was able to attend, and Ben, I mean, you folks did, just an unbelievable job. And it was just really nice to see how much the community came together for a benefit like this to support somebody, when they're going through that tough time, and their family being able to be there and be involved. So maybe Ben or Matt, you can explain a little bit more about that.
Well, basically,
Can you go to the microphone, please, Ben, since you don't have one?
Just how successful it was with the, funds raised and that type of stuff, so the community just, knows how great of a success it was.
Yeah, basically, we weren't sure going into it what monies were going to be raised. We did know that we had a core of dedicated people, and the names go on, and I'd love to recognize all of them, but they really don't want recognition. They would rather just help out the family. The figures we were talking about early on were eclipsed extremely well. Favors the top half. If you're familiar with the Old American Legion, there was not room for really anybody else in there. Everything that we had to offer, everybody was more than willing to take us up on. Without having the figure right in front of me, we raised over $16,000 for the Swartz-Tarver family.
That's great.
So thanks to the community, because everyone came out to support it. And that's kind of why we all live here.
That's
So,
right.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ben, and thank you, Scott, for mentioning that. Okay. Moving on to old business. Does anybody have any? Anybody have any new business? Okay.
I have one recommendation. We generally don't have a workshop meeting in December because of its proximity to Christmas. So I'd like to make a motion to cancel my last meeting and not be here in December.
So you're making a motion to cancel the workshop on December 22nd?
Yes.
Outstanding.
I'll second that.
Okay, council, there's a motion duly seconded to cancel the workshop on December 22nd, mainly because the vice mayor wants Christmas. I don't understand, but it's his prerogative. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Cup?
Yes.
Vogel?
Yes.
Timmerman?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Norman?
Yes.
Grudich?
Yes.
And Mayor Francis?
Yes. Motion passes. The workshop is canceled for December, so please, if anyone comes out here, we will not be here that evening. And since you brought it up as being your last official meeting on this term, I would like to just personally thank you for everything you've done. I hope to see you around next year. We will have an open council seat if your wife lets you put in for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that, so thank you, Jason.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you've helped out a lot, so I hope to see you again.
Thank you.
All right.
Make sure you put your signature on the application.
Yes, signatures, please. Do not let your wife look at it, okay? And if you're watching, Nikki, hi, sorry. She's not watching, is she?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. Okay. Any other comments from council? Any comments from citizens this evening?
Yes.
Outstanding. You're up, sir.
I've been conferring with all of my colleagues here.
Well, then, for
And,
that, can you please state your name and address to the
Steve
record?
Peters, yeah, Steve Peters. And I just want to say, great year, great job, well done to everybody. And I think everybody agreed as well that special thanks for Matt going through the past, I don't know how many years he said, but that's tedious to figure out the budgets and then the year-end totals and the contingencies in between and to put that potential stuff in the new budget. I think that's cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's good.
Thank you.
That's all.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Pastor. All right. Hearing no more comments or anything, is there a motion to adjourn? You
So-
want to adjourn your last one?
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion accepted. Good evening and have a Merry Christmas, everybody.
If you haven't been able to sign the card, let me know.